Critical thinking is really something that you have reflective thinking, and you're trying to decide on something that you believe or something that you do. Now, in terms of critical thinking, I think there's three, main points within critical thinking. You have the problem. You have to identify the problem. You have the definitions or the different solutions that you come up with that you critically think about, and then you have the result. Your end result essentially has to be what is gonna benefit most, or what is the best solution to your first problem statement. So I think critical thinking and problem solving skills go hand in hand, because when critical thinking, you're also essentially trying to solve a problem. Now, the main takeaway is that when you're critical thinking, you as the critical thinker has to believe in what is, you have to believe in yourself and what you are saying. You have to believe it's true, or else no one else will. So, for example, at the job that I'm currently at, which I just obtained around 4 months ago, I was recently hired at a sugar factory in Worcester to do inventory and quality control. Now, going into it, I thought, okay, inventory control, I'll be using Excel or some software where I will keep track of, the different sugars. And I'm also realizing now that after 4 months, there's so much that I believe, after critically thinking, will help make our inventory go better and be more efficient. So prime example of that would be, all of our product comes in on rail cars, and all of our product leaves on truckloads. So we don't deal with bags, we don't deal with totes, we don't deal with any of that. We essentially can lose quite a bit of product because, when we're taking it from a rail car to our storage tanks, they're going through these hoses, and some of these hoses just hold the thicker liquid sucroses and essentially could just be flushed out once the hose is cleaned. So if you're doing that every day for the full 25 plus days in the month that you're using it, you could essentially lose 2,500 pounds a day. So it's being able to keep track of that. But also regarding the rail cars, we don't have a system other than our purchaser, who's located in Gary, Indiana, who's sending us, hey, this rail car's coming in, or hey, this rail car should be leaving today. But, I've tried to incorporate different processes. For example, I've created a whole new spreadsheet that has, the different products. So there's 6 different kinds of sugar. And basically I keep track of all the rail cars that are coming in, how much weight it is, and then I compare it to the different orders that we fill, which are the bill of ladings, and see how much pounds left on the truck. And then I take it out of what that rail car was essentially at. But another thing to think about when you're critical thinking, I think you have to seek alternative explanations, conclusions, and just be open to them. So, I always like to have what I call a campfire meeting with my boss and whoever the shift lead is on at the time, as well as our office admin, because I feel like, if I bring a problem to the table, it's more like a brainstorming form of critical thinking. But I think that when you are able to critical think with, 2, 3, 4, 5 minds, you're able to just bounce ideas off of each other, and then, you could be well informed, and you can come up with different solutions, and then in the end, you can someone could write them all down, and then you can ultimately find what the best solution is. So that's essentially what I've been trying to do, is make everything more efficient. Another thing unrelated to what my job specifically is, so having a general business degree coming out of Nichols, graduating in May of 2018, I really tried to help them in all aspects of business. So our corporate HR, which is also located in Gary, Indiana, recently tried to incorporate a new cell phone policy. And, I had a conference call with her and just basically told her that I think we need to word it in a way that people won't necessarily be mad about. So, for example, the policy originally that she sent over said, no one can use their cell phones out on the floor, and they can't have it in their possession at all, like during their shift hours. And I told her, well, they get a 30-minute break, so they should be able to use it during their 30-minute break. And I also told her that, our terminal operators, yes, they should not have them on the floor, but I think we need to make exceptions for our shift leads because they're considered to be, managerial personnel, because they're the ones that report to the plant manager, who reports to our VP of Business Development and Corporate. So if anything goes wrong, so for example, third shift, which is 8 p.m. to 4 a.m., if something goes wrong, you need that cell phone, because you need to get a hold of, this person, this person, this person. But it all revolves around critical thinking. And like I said, you have to identify the problem. So it could be a different problem every day. Then, you find all of the different solutions to that problem. And then you really just have to narrow it down to what solution is going to affect the company in a positive way the most. So, going back to, me still being new in the position, I'm still trying to incorporate different solutions to different problems that I have. But there are still a lot of problems in which I think I can make more efficient. And I feel that using my critical thinking skills will help greatly. Thanks, everyone.